Welcome back. Vincent's experiencing fair skies currently at 77 degrees. The wind's variable at 5 miles per hour, the humidity at 24%, and the barometric pressure at 30.17 and steady. Taking a look at the area conditions, all experiencing fair skies with Clay City at 76, Shoals at 72, Patoka at 77, and Yale, Illinois at 75. In the northeast, you will see that temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, Boston, Massachusetts at 67 degrees. Taking a look at the middle third of the United States, temperatures range from the 60s to the 80s, with Duluth, Minnesota at 60 degrees and Dodge City, Kansas at 87. Looking into the western third of the nation, temperatures range from the 50s to the 90s, with Seattle, Washington at 56 degrees. Now there is a low pressure system coming off the Pacific coast that is causing scattered rain showers in Northern California, but this low pressure system is bringing scattered showers in Washington. A trough of low pressure in the northeast is rather weak but still bringing rain showers to that area. So going back to the Midwest, you will see that this high pressure system is bringing us clear and dry conditions and expected to continue for the next couple of days. Tonight, clear skies, light northwest winds, and a low of 44. For tomorrow, sunny skies, calm wind, and a high of 77. For tomorrow night, mostly clear skies, light southeast winds, and a low of 47. Looking into the extended forecast, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all sunny, with a high Wednesday of 79, low of 52. Thursday, high of 79 and a low of 55, and for Friday, a high of 81 and a low of 55. So really, Evan, tonight is going to be a perfect night to stay in and watch some Monday Night Football.
Count me in. Thanks, Ethan. Well, it was another tough night on the football field for Vincent's Lincoln team. Jesse Gwynn is here now with the details. Jesse?
That's right, Evan. Turnovers killed the Alice's chance of pulling off a win over Washington. I'll have the highlights from Friday night's homecoming game when News Center 22 returns.
To think a fruit could get this big is just crazy. I mean, this is definitely extreme gardening.
I've had one of them last year was described as large as a Volkswagen Beetle.
Something that grows 50 pounds per day, I think would have to be labeled a freak.
Since we don't have children, these are our children.
Everybody wants to touch it. It's like something that's from outer space.
He is heavy. I'm hoping the pumpkin weighs 1,100 pounds.
Yeah! This can't be real.
Hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Antiques Roadshow is turning up treasures in Raleigh, North Carolina.
So that's the difference between a $1,000 plate and a $10 plate.
Good gracious, I had no idea of that.
Oh my God.
No kidding.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that a real wow?
That's a real wow.
Next time from Raleigh, North Carolina on Antiques Roadshow.
Hatchets spoil Alice's homecoming. Good evening, everyone. For WVUT Sports, I'm Jesse Gwynn. It was a festive mood at Inman Field Friday night for Lincoln's annual homecoming contest. Zoe Wynant was crowned homecoming queen prior to the game, but after that, everything went south for the Alices. Washington grabbed a 14-10 halftime lead and eventually pulled away for a 42-17 victory. The Lincoln defense didn't have an answer for Hatchet tailback Trey Parsons, who rushed for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Washington's defense was just as active, picking off Lincoln quarterback Gunnar Hutchinson 6 times. Jordan Schatz and Patrick Toole scored touchdowns for the Alices, while Kyle Richardville kicked a 25-yard field goal. Lincoln has another home game on tap this Friday against Mount Carmel. The North Knox Warriors didn't have any better luck against third-ranked Linton. The Miners racked up 57 points on their way to their 7th straight win of the season. North Knox was unable to move the football and were held to just 97 yards of total offense. The Warriors dropped to 4-3 overall and 3-2 in the Southwest 7 Conference. North Knox has another conference game Friday night at North Davies. Curtis Painter will get his first career NFL start tonight when the Colts take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Painter has served as the backup to Peyton Manning since being drafted by the Colts out of Purdue in the 6th round in 2009. Tonight will be the 4th regular season game in which he has played. The Vincennes Lincoln graduate will start in place of 42-year-old Kerry Collins, who experienced concussion-like symptoms following a jarring hit by Pittsburgh linebacker James Ferrier. Although Painter's struggles under center are well documented, Collins has been mostly ineffective in directing the Colts offense this season. On the gridiron yesterday, the Green Bay Packers improved to 4-0 as they crushed the Denver Broncos 49-23. Aaron Rodgers completed 29 of 38 passes for 408 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also ran for 2 scores. On the season, Rodgers has thrown 12 TDs and just 2 interceptions. Eric Decker caught a pair of touchdowns from Kyle Orton Denver. Orton threw for 273 yards with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. A week after turning a 20-point halftime deficit into an overtime win, the Lions provided further proof that they're a legitimate contender by turning a 24-point third-quarter deficit into a 34-30 victory over the Dallas Cowboys Sunday. Tony Romo was picked off 3 times. 2 of them were returned for scores to get the Lions back in the game. Matthew Stafford threw a couple of touchdowns to Calvin Johnson in the 4th. The last one gave them the win. Detroit is 4-0 and has won an NFL best 8 straight games. The St. Louis Cardinals returned to Busch Stadium with a 1-1 series tie after edging the Philadelphia Phillies last night 5-4. Phillies starter Cliff Lee is known for postseason dominance, but Lee struggled with consistency against the Redbirds. He struck out 9 batters, but allowed 5 runs on 12 hits during his 6 innings. Even though the Phillies jumped out to a 4-0 lead, Cards second baseman Ryan Theriot says they never panicked even with Lee pitching.
Had it been in the 7th or 8th inning, I think that would probably been a different story. It would have probably been more of a panic type feeling. But it was early in the game. Our offense has been wonderful all year, and at that point we had a lot of outs to give. So.
Game 3 is tomorrow in St. Louis. The Phillies will start Cole Hamels against the Cardinals' Jamie Garcia. In the other National League Series, the Brewers beat the Diamondbacks 9-4 and take a 2-0 lead in that series. Ryan Braun went for 3 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Nair Morgan also drove in a couple of runs. The series now shifts to Arizona for Game 3 tomorrow night. Turning to the American League, the Detroit Lions even their best of 5 series at 1 game, 1 apiece, with a 5-3 win over the New York Yankees. Miguel Cabrera drove in 3 of Detroit's runs and a 2-run shot in the 1st and a single in the 6th. Tiger pitcher Max Scherzer held the Yankees to just two hits through the first 6 innings. Afterwards, Scherzer said it was always his big dream to pitch in a big series like this.
The postseasons was about, everything's on the line. Every game's a must-win game, and you always want to be able to pitch your best in these situations. And today I was actually able to come out pretty calm and be able to settle in and throw a really good game.
The series momentum has shifted to Detroit, who will start Justin Verlander tonight against New York CC Sabathia. Verlander has been dominant at Comerica Park and posted a 2.37 home ERA during the regular season. The other AL series between the Rays and Rangers is already underway in Tampa Bay, Florida, with the 2 teams tied at a game apiece. Kurt Busch outdueled Jimmy Johnson to win the AAA 400 at Dover International Speedway and ultimately shake up the chase standings. Busch's number 22 Dodge seems only to get stronger over the 400-mile race and beat Johnson, his longtime antagonist, on the final restart to take the checkered flag for the 2nd time this season. Busch credited his crew chief Steve Addington for making all the right moves to keep his car out in front.
And I got to thank the guy to my left, Steve Addington, for the right changes, the right time, the right sequence of 2 tires versus 4. He was in the zone today. It helped me stay in the zone out on the racetrack. And when you can feed off each other, that's when wins can happen. And it reminded me a lot of what we did at Sonoma earlier this year.
The win pushed Bush from 9th to 4th in the point standings, only 9 points out of first. Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards are tied for the lead after 3 races. Up next for the NASCAR driver Evan is Sunday's Chase Cup at Kansas Speedway.
Thanks, Jesse. We'll be right back with more on News for News Sir 22.
The search for the Bible's wealthiest king.
There is absolutely no evidence for Solomon outside the Bible.
A new discovery rewrites history.
This is a fully articulated skeleton.
Will clues from the Copper Age solve one of the Bible's most enduring mysteries?
We've got evidence of the earliest industrial revolution and the birth of the modern world.
Vincennes University is unbelievable because we are about making sure our students succeed academically, socially, personally, and I think that we go above and beyond to make sure that happens.
VU is unbelievable because of the people, and that's staff, students, faculty, and all of us in it together. It's a very encouraging place, a place of possibilities, and that's unbelievable.
And that's all for this evening. For Ethan Quarterman and Jesse Gwynn, I'm Evan Nunn. Good night.
This is